In the last part, we saw that Yu entered unannounced and Chu Xiao was sleeping soundly. Chu Xiao, unaware of his presence, sat up, rubbed her eyes, and swept the loose strands of hair by her ear to the side. Seeing him, she felt a little embarrassed. She said in a firm voice, "What are you doing here?" As she spoke, the house fell into a short silence. Chu Xiao knew that she had said something wrong and did not say another word. Both of them seemed to not know how to adapt to the shift in their relationship. They did not know how to talk to each other. The moonlight was bright outside the window as it shone onto the ground, appearing like a layer of frost. "What are you doing in Xiangyang?" Yu asked the question suddenly. Chu Xia was stunned as she felt a sense of panic surge from within. She had rarely felt anything that made her panic all these years. Even when faced with the terrifying Xia army, she was able to remain calm. Only towards him, her sense of calmness seemed to evaporate. Her heart constantly felt uneasy. Chu Xiao coughed and pretended to remain calm. "I am here to run some errands." Yu asked, "Is it done yet?" Embarrassed, Chu Xiao said, "Almost." And then Yu again asked, "When are you leaving?" Chu Xiao had no choice but to continue the conversation. "In 1 or 2 days?" Then Yu asked, "In 1 or 2 days? Is it tomorrow or the day after?" Chu Xiao felt slightly angered and replied in a cross voice, "Tomorrow." "Oh," Yu nodded as he sat by the table, pouring a cup of tea for himself. He did not drink it as he shook the cup lightly in his hand. Chu Xiao raised her eyebrows and questioned him, "What about you?" Yu said, "Me? What about me?" Chu asked, "What are you doing here in Xiangyang? When are you leaving?" Yu smiled plainly. In the 2 years that they had not met, he felt that she had become more eloquent and cunning. He remained emotionless and nodded as he said, "I am here for a vacation. I am staying here for a while more." As he finished his words, he stood up to leave. As he walked out, he added, "Since you are leaving tomorrow, I would not disturb you anymore. Have a good rest." "Hey!" Chu Xiao stood up and shouted after him, subconsciously uttering, "Stop there." Yu turned around and replied calmly, "Anything else the matter?" He must be doing this on purpose. Chu Xiao stared at him as she thought. After a long while, she lowered her head and whispered, "Actually, I am not in a rush to leave too." Seemingly afraid that Yu would get the wrong idea, she added hurriedly, "I have nothing to do when I get back anyway." "Oh," Yu nodded. He handed a bag by his side to her. With a smile on his face, he remarked, "Wash up quickly. It's the ghost festival today. It's even more crowded than yesterday." Not knowing if that was really the case or that her mental state had changed, she really felt the difference in excitement as compared to yesterday. The petals of different flowers flutter in the air along with the wind. The plants and trees thrived in the environment. The cool winds on the both sides of the lake brought with it refreshing aroma, causing one to feel rejuvenated. The acrobats on the street seemed to perform better as compared to yesterday. As they walked along the streets, they saw a small child begging for food. Chu Xiao, out of benevolence, gave the child 10 taels of gold. As the child held the money in his hand, he was flabbergasted. This amount of money would be enough to provide for a normal household for 10 years. Yu stood at the side and casually remarked, "How generous!" Chu Xiao turned back and stared him in the eye as she mocked, "The richest a person is, the stingier he is. I am in a good mood today." Although he knew that she was mocking him, he felt good upon hearing those words. A good mood? Why did she feel this way? He joyfully walked up and fished for a banknote in his pocket, which had the words printed in black and white, 200 taels of gold. Don't be a beggar anymore. Get a manor and be a ministry councillor. As he finished his words, he walked away to the shocked look on Chu Xiao's and the child's face. Chu Xiao chased after him from behind as she looked at him with suspicion. You looked at her and said, "What are you looking at?" "I did not know you had a conscience. What's the matter? Are you too rich?" You sneered as he retorted, "There are many other things which you did not expect." As they took a few steps forward, Chu Xiao's tummy started to rumble. As she had not eaten for an entire day, Yu was seemingly familiar with this city as he recited the names of a few food places effortlessly. However, Chu Xiao stood rooted to the spot as the fragrant food aromas from the roadside stalls sapped all the strength out of her body. Yu was naturally unwilling to comply with her actions, but before he could object, Chu Xiao had sat down. The waiter ran towards her with zest as she ordered 2 bowls of scallion noodles, half a kati of beef, a sausage of peanuts, and a bottle of wine as recommended by the waiter. The bottle of wine even had a fancy cultural name, the Western Frost of the 6th month. The hand which Chu Xiao used to hold her chopstick jerked slightly as she replied with a smile, "I did not drink last time because I thought it would get in the way of matters. Now that I am an ideal person, I don't really care anymore." You frowned as he reached out his hand to snatch her cup away. With a heavy tone, he said, "Don't drink anymore." Chu Xiao did not object any further as she shrugged. Softly she chided, "Stop pretending to be decent." The waiter swiftly came back with their food. As expected, the wine was nothing fancy. It was just yellow wine that had been mixed with water. This was but a folly to trick those gullible foreigners. The food were ordinary, but the portion of the noodles were big. Despite Chu Xiao's hunger, she could only eat about half a bowl of noodles before she felt full. That's it for today. Thank you for staying with me. Like the videos to support me. Don't forget to subscribe and feel free to comment. Thank you.